Ladies and gentlemen, of course, welcome back to Havana Media, where we tell Africa's best political stories just the way they truly unfold. Today, we dive deep into the story shaking the hearts of Kenya's opposition politics. Oburu Odinga's endorsement of Edwin Sifuna for the 2027 presidential race, just following the passing of the late Raila Odinga. This moment marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, uncertain chapter for ODM and Kenya's political future. Following Raila Odinga's death, the Orange Democratic Movement ODM has been walking a fragile line between grief, loyalty, and survival. For nearly 2 decades, Raila wasn't just the leader of ODM. He was ODM. His words could move crowds, his rallies could shut down cities, and his spirit defined opposition politics in Kenya.
At what we have signed, and we must remain as ODM. And we've signed and agreed that we'll work together up to 2027. We have not passed any resolution as a party to say how we're going to go into the elections of 2027. So wherever you are, don't commit the party to some things which have not been discussed. Let those things be discussed first. We are ODM. Who's told you that ODM will not have a candidate in 2027? Who has told you? So first, think as ODM. We have a clear plan that we have negotiated and we've agreed on, and let us continue to implement that plan. Other decisions we'll take when the time comes.
But with his passing, the party faced the most difficult question of all. Who will lead Raila and ODM? The question came from none other than his elder brother, Dr. Oburu Odinga. This week, Oburu stepped before cameras and microphones to confirm what many had whispered from months. ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna will be the man to lead the party into the 2027 general elections.
Party leaders who have leaders in the party who have already endorsed through their words, through their action, endorsed President William Ruto for 2 terms, include your current chairperson, Governor Gladys Wanga. They include the current minority leader in the National Assembly, Junet Mohammed. That's why I'm asking, when you say you're in government until 2027, would you be more clearer to say how are you approaching, how do you see yourself approaching the election? Because yes, you'll be in broad-based government, but the mandate of the Ruto government ends in August 2027, and it lies on Kenyans on whether they'll give him a fresh mandate post-2027. So what is the position of ODM? Is it 1 term? Is it 2 term?
Now, Gladys Wanga, I don't know whether you heard the other thing, but what I've heard her say is that ODM will be in the ballot in 2027. I've heard her several times say that. Even Junet Mohammed. That is what I've heard them saying. But maybe there are circumstances where they have said Ruto is the automatic candidate for 2027. But me, I have not, maybe it's escaped my attention. But what I know is that these are senior officials of the party, and they must, and what I'm telling you is also the official position which Raila left us in. That is the official position. And so when Sifuna says whatever Sifuna said, Sifuna was within the right to say so, because that is the correct position of the matter. He's not isolated. How can he be isolated when I'm telling you that is the position?
Yes. The position which he communicates, which you are hereby telling us is a true party position, is a position that now places him at odds with members. We've seen some members, elected members in whatever position, but within the party of ODM, now calling for his ouster as Secretary General.
No, I don't think that is there's time. This is not the time to talk of also removing any member. This is a time to bring unity of the party, and we need all members, including Sifuna.
It was a bad moment, quiet but powerful. Oburu said, Sifuna represents the new face of ODM, young, disciplined, and ready to fight for Raila's dream. For a party trying to heal and redefine itself, this message hits deep. Oburu Odinga's endorsement didn't come without controversy. Over the past few weeks, Edwin Sifuna's comments have drawn sharp reactions. Some accused him of arrogance, others of breaking ODM's long-standing traditions of coalition politics. But Oburu defended him publicly, saying Sifuna's words are not reckless. They are the official stand of ODM. According to Oburu, Sifuna's call for independence and respect in coalition is exactly what Raila Odinga always believed in. He said, we cannot always play second fiddle in politics. Raila taught us to fight for equality, not to beg for positions. That statement resonated with many within ODM who have long felt the party's sacrifices too much in coalition deals, only to be sidelined once power is shared. Sifuna himself has been clear about what he wants. In his recent interviews, he said, ODM will not accept being reduced to a junior partner in any future government. But if ODM joins a coalition, it must come in as a key player with a fair share of leadership. And if that doesn't happen, then ODM will go it alone. Sifuna says the party is ready to field its own presidential candidate in 2027, with or without coalition backing. His exact words, we cannot keep folding our dreams into other people's vision. ODM must stand on its own feet. That's exactly what Raila Odinga would have wanted.
Ati kuna candidates wa broad-based. Broad-based si chama. Na kama si chama haina candidates. Unajua nyinyi mmefanya kazi ya kura hapa. Kuna wamama wakiingia kwenye polling station kama hawajui jina ya candidate, wanasema mimi nataka ule wa ODM. Ukweli ama uongo? Kuna wale ambao hawajui hata candidate na chama, wanasema ile symbol ya baba, ile chungwa. Mimi nataka ule wa chungwa. So mniambie kala ya broad base ni gani? Na symbol ya broad base ni gani? Mtu akitoka kule mashinani aseme anataka mtu wa broad base, unampeleka wapi? Hakuna candidate wa broad base. Broad base is not a party. It is not a party. It does not exist anywhere. So what we want us to understand, leaders should not bring confusion to voters unless wanataka hawa candidates wetu waanguke kura. Unless umetumwa uangushe watu kura. Pale magarini tukiingia, tunaingia kama wana ODM, wanachungwa. Rangi zetu zinajulikana, sera zetu zinajulikana, nembo zetu zinajulikana. Ukiona tu chungwa unajua ni nini? ODM. So we don't want people to bring confusion.
That statement drew thunderous applause from ODM youth wings, especially in Nairobi, Kisumu, and others from Mombasa, where younger voters are rallying around him as a modern, energetic voice for the party. But it also rattled a few political veterans who fear Sifuna's tough tone could isolate potential allies and weaken the broader opposition front. In this moment of transition, the ODM family is split between nostalgia and new beginnings. For the older generation, it's hard to imagine ODM without Raila Odinga's iconic presence, the man who stood up against dictatorship, who campaigned for the 2010 constitution, who never stopped fighting for justice. For the younger generation, this is their time to take the baton, to modernize ODM and make it fit for a new Kenya. Oburu's endorsement of Sifuna seems to bridge those two words, linking the legacy of Raila with the ambition of the youth. It's a symbolic handover, one that says the struggle continues, but the faces must change. Political analysts have been quick to weigh in. Some see Oburu's move as a masterstroke, an attempt to preserve the Odinga family's influence while allowing ODM to renew itself. Others view it as a risky saying that without Raila's charisma, unity and negotiation skills, the party could struggle to maintain its national reach. ODM, after all, has always been bigger than just one man. It's a movement built on principles of democracy, justice, and equality. And that's what Oburu reminded supporters in his address. He said, ODM is not a name, it's a spirit. Raila is gone, but the spirit lives in every Kenyan who believes in fairness. Behind the scenes, tension is simmering. Reports suggest several ODM heavyweights are uncomfortable with the fast-tracked endorsement of Sifuna, claiming there wasn't enough consultation. And other names like Wycliffe Oparanya, Hassan Joho, and even Gladys Wanga have been floated as potential contenders for the top seat. But Oburu seems determined to keep the party united. He has been meeting with governors, MPs, and youth leaders also, but privately, urging them to support the transition and avoid a public split. In his words, if we divide now, we lose everything that Raila fought for. But for Edwin Sifuna, this is both an opportunity and a test. He steps into leadership at a time when Kenyans are frustrated with high taxes, unemployment, and the feeling that politicians have forgotten the ordinary person. Sifuna's challenge will be the reconnect ODM with this grassroots base, the same people who filed stadiums for Raila, who sang freedom songs, and who believed in change. He is positioning himself as a modern reformist, promising digital transparency, generation inclusion, and also economic justice. But will Kenyans buy into this new version without Raila at the helm? That's the big question. Across social media, of course, reactions have been mixed. Some Kenyans are calling Sifuna the future of ODM. Others are saying there is no ODM without Baba. Hashtags like hashtag ODM transition and also hashtag Sifuna 2027 has been trending, showing that even the grief, the party remains very much alive in public debate. What about Kisumu? Posters of Raila Odinga have begun appearing besides new ones, of symbolizing a political handover that blends legacy with ambition. As ODM charts its course to 2027, one thing is clear. This will not be an easy road. Without Raila's unifying voice, internal disagreements could easily turn into cracks. But Oburu Odinga's firm support for Edwin Sifuna gives the party a direction, a rallying point, and perhaps a fighting chance to stay relevant. It's a passing of the torch from the old guard to the new. And as Kenyans prepare for yet another election season, the story of ODM is far from over. It's simply entering its next chapter. One written by the generation that grew up chanting Raila's name and now wants to carry his dream forward. Kenya's political story is always one of resilience, reinvention, and hope. From Raila's sacrifice to Oburu's leadership and Sifuna's boldness, ODM's journey reminds us that no movement truly dies if the people still believe in its cause. As we head into 2027, the big question remains, can Sifuna really fill Raila's shoes, or will ODM spirit fade without its founding flame? But remember, only time will tell. Thank you for watching Havana Media. If you found this story insightful, please like, share, and of course, subscribe for more real stories from Kenya and across Africa. We tell the truth, we tell it human, and of course, we keep you updated. My name is Oburu Odinga, and of course, this is Havana Media, where every story matters. See you in the next one.